Good afternoon and happy Thursday, everyone. It is Scott Wohlers with River Place Capital. It is Thursday, October the 3rd. I want to take just a brief minute to discuss what markets did last week, as the markets have been up 10 out of the last 11 weeks, and another positive week last week with the S&P leading all major indexes up 62 basis points or 0.62%. The mid caps just behind up 51 basis points or 0.51%, and the small caps up 0.3% or 30 basis points for the laggard on the week, but all indexes positive. And so as we're heading in, we ended up the third quarter this Monday, and we finished on a very positive note. It was a great quarter for the average stock, which is the inverse what we saw in the second quarter of this year when the market got very narrow and just a few growth names led the market higher. We saw a real broadening out, but we saw a very volatile market as well in August and September. And as we've discussed, volatility works both on the upside and the downside. It's very violent swings up and down, where we've seen very big moves in a lot of names and a lot of indexes. But as we move into October seasonally is probably one of the weakest months in the year for equities and one of the most volatile months for equities. So as we're heading into this October, we have a humongous wall of worry ahead of us. We have an incoming presidential election, which is which we do not have answers for yet until November. We have escalations in the Middle East and in Europe. And we have a strike on the East Coast and the Gulf ports that could reignite inflation or could cause economic damage. And you're seeing the markets kind of shrug some of this off, continue to power forward. But we don't expect that to continue in perpetuity. But we expect to see as investors really start to go, okay, we're 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out from the next United States presidential election. We don't know what Congress is going to look like. Do we have a divided government? Do we have all sides in one government? What do those policies look like? There's no clarity around that. So that leads to swings up and down in the market. One day everything is great, everything's going to be soft landing. Fed has come to rescue the day. The next day the economy is slowing. Now the things that we track at River Place, we do see signs of anecdotal slowing. Money flows are starting to weaken a little bit. And remember, that's tracking buying power in the equity market. Luxury brands and car brands are issuing cautious guidance. A lot of this has to do with China, but it's still cautious guidance as people are starting to pull back their spending. And so as the people pull back, that's going to have an economic impact, and stocks are not just going to continue to rally. The other thing that we have to consider is we're in a quiet period as well. Next Friday, the big banks kick off really corporate earnings season. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to get some earnings here and there leading up to that, but the actual earnings, big time earnings that we get, where we get a sense of the overall environment, will start happening next Friday. And that often we wait to hear not just the earnings, but what the guidance looks like for what specific what corporations are seeing, what they expect their earnings to do. Do they expect earnings to decline or grow? Do they expect the economy? Are they issuing cautious guidance or upbeat guidance? I expect most people to issue very cautious guidance. Again, we don't know what the presidential election is going to come, what that means policy-wise for the United States of America. Now, as investors, that doesn't mean get out, get in, because depending on what party gets in, and certain sectors do better under different administrations, and that's what you do is you adjust to that, and there's still always ways to make money, but expect this time to be volatile. So what do you do during this volatile time leading up to the election? We've been talking a lot about it for the last month. Stay steady in the boat. Find the good quality names that you want to pick out. If you have any dead wood, go ahead and cut it right now. And it's okay to have some cash on the sideline to identify some opportunities that you want as stocks start to come down a little bit. So as always, if you have questions about how we can help you or how to better navigate this volatile market that we expect to be in, feel free to give us a call. We'd love the opportunity to speak to you. You can reach us at 904-346-3460, or as always, check us out online at www.riverplacecapital.com. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks so much for watching.